Greetings. I have a drink. I do like an old-fashioned. So, greetings. Yes, I'm still wearing the same shirt as I wore the last episode. This may be because they're recorded on the same day. Anyway. That's neither here nor there. So, what do we have today? Today we have a Cuban cigar. Now, my American friends, I feel for you. I really do, because some of these Cubans are beautiful. But by the same measure, I also don't, because they can be really, really dull. Build quality's not brilliant. If you like hay, then yeah, okay. But so this is a Partagas Serie D number 4. It's the biggest in the Serie D lineup. You do have the D4, 5, 6, possibly the 7, I can't remember. But the D6 is quite a small cigar, it's like 3.5 inches long. This is closer to a Robusto, which is around the 5-inch length range. Oh, I love a D4 every now and again. When I get the opportunity, nice quiet evening, nice drink, nice cigar. Except part of the wrapper's falling off already. See what I mean, Americans? There we go, that'll do. Like I say, bits falling off everywhere. Never mind. So, I've literally just started this, and yes, my ponytail's going over this side, but if I go like this, it'll go over that side. Yeah, that's a weird one. It's a very tobacco tasting cigar. Now, that may sound weird. It tastes like rolling tobacco. It smells, for me, at the moment. I've literally just lit it. I've used my handy dandy Psycho 7 single flame jet lighter. And a flat guillotine cutter. Which means it does a straight chop rather than doing a V-cut or a punch or anything like that. So, yeah, like I said, there's that sort of hay, grassy, sort of cut grass kind of vibe about it. Let's see how it plays with this. Ooh. Ooh, that's kind of special. Yeah. Ooh, that really is the combination, because you've got like the smoky quality you've got in this, and it bounces against the kind of smoky quality you get with the whiskey, and especially with the bitters. That just sort of amps the flavour up a bit. So if you want to know my recipe for this old-fashioned, I'll leave it down below. That works. That really works. Yeah, I'm going to put this down, otherwise I'm going to drink it before I get halfway through this. So, as I was saying, this is a Cuban cigar. Now, the last time we spoke, I had a, God forgive me, Cuban sandwich cigar, which was the J.C. Newman Brickhouse Fumas, which was a Churchill compared to this. This is a Robusto. So you have various sizes. You have the more common ones is Robusto, Corona. Yes, I know, named long before the Rona, but yes. You've got Robusto, Corona, Toro, which is around the 6-inch mark. Now you have Churchill, like the brick house, which is around the 7-inch mark, thereabouts. There are sizes in between, so there's various different shapes, etc., etc. Anyway. Ooh. There's kind of a nutty quality there as well. Sort of like that smell of nuts roasting at winter when you go going around Christmas markets and stuff. You got people selling hot chestnuts and stuff like that. It's that kind of atmospheric vibe, if you will, because you get the scent of it all, but it's also sort of like there's more than the scent at play there. It's just like, ooh, I fancy some hot nuts, except I don't, because I have no teeth. More on that, maybe never. That is really good. So I'm going to carry on, and I'll come back when I get through to the, once I finish the first third, essentially. We'll check in, and I will see you in a short while. Sudden hand attack. Hello, we're back. So, we are in second third. Now, there's not much in way of flavour properly coming through yet. It's not as, not necessarily as nuanced as things which have a long transition. It's just sort of, for me at the moment, it's just one flavour that's sort of keep on rolling. Not that that's a bad thing, but it's not as if there's any transition. It's not going from hay to, ooh, there's a bit of cocoa in there, there's a bit of this, there's a bit of that. No, it's just one solid, consistent flavour. Again, not that that's a bad thing. I like that kind of Cuban flavour because it gives it that sort of, when you smoke it, you're just like, okay, with very few exceptions, I know that I'm smoking a Cuban. I like that. Yeah. Again, there's that sort of dried grass, earthy note, if you will, and it's interesting. It's not sort of something that leaps out at me and says, yes, want this, you know, this is what this is. It's a very, it's quite subtle. It's one of those things where it's like, yes, you can tell this is a Cuban cigar, but by the same measure, there's bits that make you think, oh, hang on. So it's little sort of aftertaste, if you will. It's just like, oh, what was that? And you try and figure out what you tasted, and it can be gone. It can be one puff, and that's it, and then it's gone, and you just left there one like, what was that? Oh, something new's come along, and that lasts for 2, 3 puffs, and it's like, okay, that was enjoyable. There's still that overall grassy Cuban taste, but there's these little moments of intrigue in a lot of Cuban cigars. This one isn't giving me that much. Like I said, there's a bit of nuttiness in there now and again. That just sort of, it's very slight, but it's there, which is good. Yeah, yeah, see that, and now it's back to that grass hay note. Again, thoroughly enjoyable because it's Cuban, why wouldn't I? That's intriguing. there's almost a saltiness to it as well. Only just come on in the last couple of puffs, and it's just like, it's almost a like I say, like a savoury, salty-ish kind of note. It's what it reminds me of. I can't remember the stick, but there was one stick where it was just like, okay, I can taste matches after you blow them out. It's that sort of smoky aroma. That's what I picked up from this cigar that I was smoking. The Gurkha Royal Challenge. That's what it was. I picked up that little bit of sort of, not ammonia, because you get the sort of the sulphurous taste when when you lit the match first. You get that sulphurous little bit, and then it goes away and then carries on. But it's that smell once you've lit a match and you've let it go until it's nearly burned your fingers, you blow it out, and it's that smell that rolls off it afterwards. That's what I picked up. No one else got that, but don't matter. I did. I gotta be honest, I don't get Partagas as often. When I do, I'm very happy about it. It's one of those things where I'm loath to spend the money to buy multiples of them, but if I see if one or two end up in a sampler pack, I will not turn it down. I'll sometimes I'll say, actually, I don't like these. Don't suppose you have any D4s or P2s, which are even nicer. They'll go, yeah, actually, we'll chuck one in, or yeah, okay, I can chuck two in. And sometimes, no, they don't. But they'll give me some other stuff, and I'll go, right, never tried that, we'll give it a go. It's the only way you can sort of develop your palate then. Oh, see, and now it plays off the sweetness. Right, but yes, for me, it goes very well with this cigar because there are little bits that it complements. But anyway, I'm going to crack on and get into the final third, and I will see you guys then. And I'm back. Final third, and oh my god, I must be doing something wrong because this is amazing. I gave the cap another wee cut, and all of a sudden it's just flavour central. It's got that underlying sort of, what's the reviewers call it, barnyard, sort of barnyard hay, that kind of vibe going on. And I just recut the cap. I haven't had to touch up the burn because you may be able to make out, but the burn has been absolutely spot on. It has been razor sharp. But yeah, I just sort of give it a quick flash with the lighter and cut the cap off a bit deeper, and just all of a sudden there was just these flavors came out that I hadn't picked up on earlier. There was this rich, dark, chocolatey creaminess. There was plenty of cedar, which I'd only picked up tiny little bits of earlier. There was all sorts coming out, and I'm just like, okay, I need to do another one, and I need to cut it deeper. I need to get another one. So yes, I may well be in the market for another D4, just to see if I can get those flavors to transition the whole way through, just hopefully. And see now the some of the cap wrapper is starting to stick to my lips, so that's never a good thing. Right, I'm going to knock the ash and take the label off, and I'll be back. And I'm back again. So, ash removed, label removed. Sometimes, if you're getting into cigars and you're smoking your first Cubans, a warning. Sometimes they can be a bit exaggerative with the addition of glue to hold the band on. Sometimes it sticks to the wrapper, which pulls the whole thing apart and sends it raveling. Sometimes they will not come off and you have to physically smoke through them, which doesn't do much for the taste, I will add. And yeah, otherwise it can be a pain in the ass. That one, not so much, so I got lucky. But yeah, final third. Yeah, again, that sweetness is back. And it comes and goes. And it, yeah. And there's that creaminess back as well. Like I said, that see, you've got that creaminess on the tongue, that sort of texture you get after you've had strawberries and cream or something. It's not necessarily the taste, it's that sort of texture that coats the mouth. It's hard to describe, but it's bloody lovely. See how it compares with this now. That's something special. Like I say, it's playing with the smokiness of the whiskey, but also the sweetness of that sugar that's added and the quality of the bitters, because that's just going, right, okay, well, you got sweet, well, I've got bitterness, I've got sweet, you've got smoky, and it's just playing together. And I'm gonna be making more of those. Oh, that was a bit hot. Sometimes you get the spiciness on a retrohale, like with my last cigar I smoked, the Brick House Fumas. There was a bit of spiciness on the retrohale. That was just hot. So I don't think I'll be recording any more of this. And then I go and do it. So yeah, this has turned out to be a bloody lovely cigar. I think it would have had a couple, so I'm just like, okay, let's have a D4. Let's see what I can pick up on it, because the last time I smoked a D4 was before I really knew what I was doing. I had 3 from a friend of mine, as well as a couple of others, and I didn't have retrohaling down pat. I never tried it, but simply because I enjoyed more the social aspect of it, going to herfs and meeting friends and like-minded people online and all that good stuff. But yeah, it got to a point where I was encouraged to try things that I wouldn't necessarily try before. I got encouraged to try acids by Drew Estate. I have yet to. They hold no interest for me. They are sweetened flavoured cigars. Now, I've only had one sweetened, no, tell a lie. I've had one proper sweetened cigar, which was okay but not brill. And then I had a KFC Swamp Thing Cigarillo, which had a sweetened tip. It was bloody awful. Didn't help that it was Candela and sweetened, so I literally took on, I had maybe a quarter of it and I just chucked it. Could not cope. So yeah, sweetened cap isn't necessarily my bag, but some people, it's what they love, so I'm not gonna, you know, be the guy that says no, they're bad, ban them. You know, there is clearly a market for them, particularly in America. But as per usual, I digress. So it's starting to get down to where I would usually consider putting it out. Some of the wrapper is pulling away, the cap is getting a bit screwed up, but I'm just enjoying myself too much. So I'm going to finish my lovely old-fashioned. And my cigar, and I will head upstairs to some light on the situation, and yeah, I'll let you know what I thought. The light, she is back. So, thoughts on the Partagas Serie D number 4. An overall enjoyable stick. Literally, as I cut, saying, right, I'm going to finish this and then I'll come back upstairs and all that good stuff. Yeah, the very next puff, it got bitter and tarry and awful. So I binned that off, finished my my old fashioned in quiet comfort for a couple of minutes, sort of ruminating and all that good stuff. So yes, Partagas D4 Cuban stick, very Cuban flavors. Like I say, right until I cut that tip a little bit, knocked it out, and then just all these other flavors came back, like that chocolatiness, a bit of sweetness that played off nicely with the smokiness from the old fashioned. There was that creamy sort of unctuous texture that coated the tongue really nicely, not like the claggy sort of sensation you get. That just sort of nice sort of, I'm describing it horribly, but you know what I mean, that sort of creamy texture and almost flavour for a part of it that just coats the mouth nicely. So loved that. It was a Robusto, so shorter smoke than I normally enjoy. I used to love Robustos because they were nice and relatively quick, and I could have one every couple of days and I'd be happy. Now I stick to the big boys. I go for Toros, Churchills, Presidentes, big sizes, simply because I'm usually chatting to friends when I'm smoking. You know, 9 times out of 10, if I'm not, you know, if I'm smoking a cigar, there is a good chance I'm either going to be on a hearth, on a V-hearth with friends on Zoom or on Messenger, or I'm going to be listening to cigar podcasts, or even there's a gentleman by the name of Reinhard Poharek who runs something called the Light 'em Up Lounge. Link's going to be in the description if you want to go check it out. Things like that, and there he gets in all these really sort of big names in the industry to come along and sort of have a sort of hour and a half chat, or sometimes even more. The owner of Tatuaje, Pete Johnson, I was on a call with him. I got to ask a couple of questions, which was really cool. So I've got some recommendations of where to go on that particular brand's journey. And literally, we stopped streaming to Facebook, which is something they do. They do a live Facebook video, so they can get questions from Facebook and read them out, etc., etc. But that call lasted for a good 4 hours, and we just carried on talking to Pete. It was brilliant. We got discussing tattoos and conspiracy theories and all manner of stuff. His favourite whiskey from memory. It was a while back, so you know, this was back in end of March, beginning of April, I think. But it was still such a good giggle. But yeah, that's one of the things I thoroughly enjoy, because I can just sit there and I can listen to I can listen to Reinhardt, who is a very well educated gentleman who can literally just go, right, okay, this tiny little thing that you do, and just make a big thing out of it, and then go, thoughts, and then he just hands the floor over to the person who's calling in, which is brilliant, because you can literally just go, right, okay, I know when we last spoke you talked about this, would you care to expand on that? Yeah, absolutely. So that's what I do when I have a cigar normally. Sometimes I will just go out for a walk down the park, sit there with a bottle of water and just have a smoke, because I enjoy it. But yes, with all that bull hockey out the way, D4. Good construction, great construction until right at the end, but I think that's on me because my humidor's been playing a bit lately. The Boveda bags are drying up and they're not sort of, and what doesn't help is my hygrometer broke, so I am anxiously awaiting another one. it was beautiful burn. Construction was amazing the whole way through. Like I said, flavors, they were nice. When I cut the cap, even more just exploded. So I properly enjoyed that. I want more. I want more. Put a more aggressive cut on it. Cut it right to the cap because it is a triple capped cigar from memory. I could be wrong, and it's just amazing. So definitely gonna try and get some more. But I would honestly, I give it an 8.5, maybe a 9 at a push, simply because the right at the end it started to get proper bitter and the wrapper started to unfurl and things like that, which may well be beyond the cigars helping. It may have been all on me, but it kind of detracted it a bit. So I'm going to leave it around the 8.5, 8. We'll call it an 8 3/4, a generous 9. So yeah, not the best, but definitely not the worst. I've always enjoyed a D4 whenever I've had one. This was no exception. You know what? Yeah, we're going to give it a solid 9. Yeah, so that was really enjoyable, especially sitting there with my very first old fashioned, which I'm going to make some more of them. But yeah, Partagas Serie D number 4, a solid 9. If you smoked it, feel free, leave your thoughts down below. I'd love to know your thoughts on the matter, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you for the next one, and goodness only knows what that'll be. Hopefully it'll either be a Davidoff or a Rocky Patel, depending on when my order comes in. So yes, I'm going to love you folks and leave you. Hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, day, evening, time of day, whenever you're watching this. Thank you very much, and we will see you next time, whenever on earth that will be. Adios.